Phoenix here, capping off the final match day, final league action of an incredible season. Of course, since the new algorithm, we have had so much success, and I can't wait to continue improving it over the summer to ensure that we hit the ground running into the next season. But of course, a weekend whereby we've seen Champions League races decided both in England and in Italy. Cups won, in particular, close attention to the one in France and in Portugal, which was an incredible game. And of course, teams that got relegated and even promoted. Friday, we're not even going to get into that. We've already addressed that. Enough is enough with that. I might come a little bit bigger. We started with the Sheffield Sunderland game, whereby I was rooting for Sunderland. I was really hoping they'd get up, and what an incredible winning goal it was. I was mostly focused in Madrid, but I had this game on the second screen, and Sheffield looked like they dominated, but then Sunderland, that's the beauty of the sport, caught them. They stayed in the game, and then bang. So happy for Sunderland to get promoted, and I can't wait for the Sunderland Newcastle matchups next season. Then, of course, like I said, I was in Madrid. I was in Spain. I said 3-1 Real Madrid. It finished 2-0. I was expecting a more lively game, to be honest with you guys. I thought both teams will be going more at it. Obviously, we knew Mbappe needed to score at least one to win the Golden Boot. He ended up scoring 2. The first one, I don't understand how those are given penalties. Next season, if there's anything I'm wishing for, please, we need clarity on these handballs. It's an absolute farce. I don't understand what the Sociedad player is supposed to do. It's ridiculous. He's right there. He's got his hand like that. Goller literally hits the ball towards his hand and it gets given. Same situation with the Bissek one last week. Clarity, please, clarity. But then, of course, Mbappe missed the penalty, scores the rebound. His second goal, though, was the one that caught my eye in particular, because we're dealing here with a special player. His movement, Mbappe. If you look at him throughout the game, right? Like, I'll be real. This game was the exact same as every other Real Madrid game. Nothing happens. Completely dead. No tactics. Just individual quality and inshallah. But if you look at Mbappe, his movement, he's constantly looking to make stuff happen. And his near post finish, wow, caps off for the first time. He wins the Golden Boot. Never won it while playing for PSG. Golden Boot, of course, across all the leagues. He wins it in his first season at Real Madrid. And he started slow this year. And he played in a team with no tactics. Absolutely fascinated to see what he'll be able to do next season under a proper manager with proper tactics, and of course in his second season, so he's not going to have that waiting adaptation period. Congratulations to Mbappe for the Golden Boot and of course the Pichichi in Spain. Then in Italy, Milan capping off a horrific season. They were struggling against Monza, which is typical, but very happy to get the correct spoiler with this one. We got a little bit lucky because, like I said, Monza did threaten. Milan left it late. Felix with an incredible free kick for the second. Where will he go next season? I have absolutely no idea. I have a feeling he'll be Saudi bound, but it'll be a damn shame because the talent is there. That is obvious. It just seems like he can't get any consistency, and it doesn't help when he's constantly changing teams. And then, of course, another correct spoiler over here. Mega concerning. I told you guys Rams would struggle to score. It went exactly like I envisioned. There was a surprise because Kvara, though, was supposed to start. Then Barcola and Doué were the ones combining and causing all kinds of damage. He had a migraine, apparently, Kvara. Let's hope he'll get a migraine again on Saturday, eh? Ashraf also got a goal. Dominant in midfield as always, PSG. We need to see exactly how we're going to approach this. And of course, the Champions League final analysis will be there on Friday, Saturday, sometime over there. Then shifting to all the drama on Sunday. In the Premier League, another correct spoiler, Fulham City game. We got the game absolutely spot on. Gundogan, who's had a very poor season, delivered again, just like he did in his treble season towards the end of the season with an incredible goal. And Haaland back on the score sheet from the penalty spot. City were threatened. Ederson needed to have a good game. He did. But you can see again, Pep is building already towards next season. This is where things started to go wrong for us. Because listen, you can't blame me because it's impossible to account what's going to happen in a game like this. This is so annoying. Two teams, both winning, both doing double card of honors and this and that. And utter farce in the game. Is the usual. We know it's a Liverpool team that need a lot of work in the summer. Worst Premier League champions of all time. But one thing, the major thing that we learned was that Jurgen Klopp will always have the biggest pull in England, or rather, in Liverpool. He spoke. He said, don't boo Trent. Sure enough, Trent got the cheers, the biggest cheers, when he lifted the trophy. Fascinating. Salah on the score sheet. He couldn't quite hit the 30, but of course, most goals, most assists, and player of the season, and the Premier League trophy as well, which is the most important one. Then came the one with the biggest controversy. So let's start addressing the obvious. Manchester United turned up, Aston Villa didn't. Which I don't understand, considering Villa are the team that needed to win to get Champions League football. Similar to the FA Cup semi-final, they didn't turn up. They didn't turn up. Matty Cash, people blaming Emi Martinez, but Matty Cash, nobody says anything. He's the one that starts the mess. Under his the pass, sure. Maybe it's Emi's final game. Emery denied it for Aston Villa. I don't know. You could be like, I agree. Like, when you come out, you have to let him. You're playing against Manchester United. It's much better to go a goal down than go a man down. And this just goes in general, to be honest. Especially that early on. If it's late in the game, I understand. But that early on, just let him go. It was spoiled anyways. He could probably miss. Let him go. But Matty Cash is the one that starts him. And everybody's like, it's Matty that starts it. Villa didn't turn up. Simple as that. They didn't. But Manchester United couldn't score. Hit the post, hit the bar. They couldn't score in typical United fashion. Then at 0-0 came the big episode. Because of course we had Villa winning. Came the big episode. It changes everything. It changes everything. The referee made a complete mess. Yeah, how on earth are you going to blow your whistle? You got VAR. It's incredible, referees. You got VAR to help you and you're there blowing the whistle. Relax, kid. What are you blowing the whistle for? And it changes everything. It changes everything. It doesn't just cost me. It affects everything. If Aston Villa, God knows, they've cost them Champions League football, millions and millions and millions of pounds. But above all, it cost me. It cost me. It cost me my Aka. It costs us all the hard work that goes into it. They have to get these correct. Again, of course, your analysis wasn't the best because Manchester United deserve to win on the basis of things, but you cannot make decisions like that incorrect. You cannot get that incorrect in a game like that. Utter farce. And of course, with that, the future of Aston Villa now, players could leave. PSR, who will they able to attract? It affects everything. Affects everything. But congratulations, Amorant. You finally won a game. On Football Manager, for those tuning in and watching me cook with Manchester United, it shows that the manager is the problem, not the players. Then, Eddie, I'll never buy into this. Will always be a fraud. If Newcastle want to mean business, they have to move on from Eddie. They have to move on. Bailed out, man. Bailed out by Manchester United. And then, of course, this one will go absolutely spot on. It was always going to be Chelsea winning. Very, very happy for Chelsea. Happy to see players like Caicedo Palmer, Reece James, Cucurella playing, Enzo Fernandez playing Champions League football next season. Lavia. It's kind of scary to think who Chelsea will be able to attract, considering they've brought in all these players with no Champions League football. Let's see what they'll be able to do with Champions League football. One thing though, one remark. I didn't like the reaction from the Chelsea players. A club like Chelsea celebrating that way to get Champions League. Acting almost like they're insulted because of what the pundits have been saying. They've been well within their rights to criticize. Sure, they've gone overboard. But it's Chelsea. Let's not pretend like this is some incredible underdog story and how on earth they got Champions League. It's to be expected. And the players are there celebrating the way they did. It didn't quite sit right with me, personally. It didn't. Maresca, I hear he was frustrated. He said everything he needed to say at the end of the game. Yeah, I do think people were disrespectful towards Chelsea, but it's only Champions League football. It's the Chelsea team, in my opinion, that has to fight for the title next season. They have the players to do so. Just bring in a couple of new additions and they should be fighting for league titles, no doubt about it. Chris Wood, by the way. Wow. They relied on his goal so much for us this season. Oh, big misses. But I don't want this to be a sour taste for forwards. Like, to still get European football when most people had them going down. Chapeau to them. And then, of course, Arsenal. I told you guys Odegaard will score. And so he did. It's the type of game Odegaard turns up in, unfortunately. Spurs were drunk. That was a given. And that kept off a mediocre Premier League season. Let's call it like it is. One of the worst Premier League seasons of all time. Kept off with one of the worst Premier League champions of all time. Onwards and upwards into next season. Then in Italy, we've seen some drama. Madre mia. Relegation battles galore. This, of course, was the main event we were watching. Juventus done well. They went down a goal. They came back. We'll see. Tudor done his job. He was brought in to get them Champions League, to secure Champions League at the end. And he did do that. But of course, it's a Juventus team that need big additions in the summer if they want to compete. They're still a little bit too young, and you can tell there's some naivety in the players, but they also got some special ones. But as always, it had to be Juventus fashion. It had to be a penalty. It had to be. Why wouldn't it be? I'm still not sold because this little diving hobbit doing what he does best. But they have two special footballers, Juventus. Two special ones. This kid, watch out, because he's going to be, I think, something in the future. But it's these two right here. Keper and Thuram and Yildiz, who concern me as an Inter fan, especially if Conte will indeed join Juventus. Ranieri, he done his job, his final game. So unfortunate they couldn't quite get Champions League, but an incredible turnaround nonetheless, considering where Roma were. In Spain, obviously this one we got wrong because I thought it'll be 1-1. I thought, but the way the game went, if you watch the game, honestly, I mean, I don't know how Bilbao didn't score. It sums it up. This striker that they have, shocking, man. Absolutely shocking player. Nico looked in the mood, but Eric Garcia done well against him. Strong midfield performance from Gavi, Pedri again, and Fermin. Lewandowski got a couple, but it was, of course, not enough for him to win the Pichichi. In the team of the week, I went with Sanchez in goal. Very happy with him. Reece James, Chelsea look a different team when he plays. De Vrij and Colwill cap it off. Keper and Thuram and Gavi in midfield. I thought Gavi was sensational. And Keperin cannot sing his praises enough. McTominay unfortunately gets in as well. Hakimi and Barcola on either side. And Solot and Mbappe up front. In the flops, not many flops this week, to be honest, from the big teams. But Emi and Matikash have to get in. Done so for Spurs. Romagnoli for Lazio getting sent off at the end. Matson, I don't rate the kid. I really don't. Archie, I don't know what to make of him. Next season, he's got a big season. He's still young. There is still promise. But There's no denying he's had a very poor season overall. Very poor season. Gravenberch with a rare appearance here getting sent off. No rare appearance though for Luis Diaz and Soboslai. Two mediocre subpar players. Lamine Yamal makes a rare appearance in the flop. Okay, maybe flops is harsh, but when you said those standards. And Castellanos for Lazio, who completely fell off towards the end of the season. It's been an incredible season. Still a couple of games left to play. Of course, the biggest one of them all, and then the Club World Cup. I can't thank you guys enough for the support throughout the season. I promise you guys that I'll get even stronger. The spoilers will get even stronger. Robin Hood will get stronger. Phoenix will get stronger. And I absolutely cannot wait. This week, starting from tomorrow, we'll be handing out the awards. Premier League tomorrow, Serie A, La Liga, then of course the ultimate combined everything, best player, team of the season, biggest flop, worst manager, best manager, you name it, we will have everything covered. So I'll catch you guys with the awards tomorrow.